What's up, everyone? I just hit level 60 and it feels amazing. We finally did it. Wow, what a grind. The town board missions have been crazy. This video will be an updated guide with a new build I like to call Blood Rapier. I am a rapier and musket main, so I've been exploring and experimenting. The blood skill tree is super fun, and I never really paid much attention to it until I started experimenting with it in PvP, and I gotta say, it has a lot of potential. This build is really fun, and I feel like it paired up with the right weapon, it can do a lot of damage. I'm also going to be going over my PvP builds as well. These are going to be the set in stone skills that I will be using every time I go into PvP matchup, and I think these are the best skills. Okay. Let's see. All right. Alright, you guys, let's go ahead and take a look at the blood skill tree. We're going to be looking at the three main skill in this tree, which is the Tondo, Flourish and Finish, and then Flurry. Basically, what this build is your Tondo does bleed damage, and you can stack it up to 3 times. And once you have it stacked up to 3 times, Flourish and Finish procs all 3 stacks and does 100% of the bleed. So you're basically doing a ton of damage all at once, and this is a huge burst of damage. I've been doing this onto mages, and man, they just kind of disappear. So let's go ahead and go into what all these skills do. With Tondo, you're basically hitting people. You're doing a strike, and it does 50% direct weapon damage, but also applies a bleed that will deal 85% weapon damage over 12 seconds, and this can stack over 3 times, refreshing previous applications. We're gonna go ahead and take all of these traits that help Tondo, improves Tondo. This is basically cooling it down if you hit one opponent, or actually when applying the first bleed stack to an opponent. Since this is a swipe, you're gonna hit multiple. You can hit multiple targets. I find that in PvE, if you hit a group of 5 people, this skill cools down very quickly. Basically, almost half. It's at a 10-second cooldown. So if you hit 5 targets, that's 50% cooldown. That's half the skill is half cooldown already. And again, if you hit only 1 target, even on a blocked hit, this cooldown is reduced by 25%. Like I said, more cooldown is a really good skill. Proper spacing improve your direct damage from Tondo by 100% if you are 4 meters away from your target. So this Tondo skill does a 50% direct damage with just the swipe. With that last trait, it's going to knock it up to 150%. So this is your bread and butter right here. This is what you want to do. You want to stack your bleed on the enemy. So for Flourish and Finish, we're going to take all the traits in here as well. Basically all these skills, we're going to be taking all the traits that help them. With Flare, gain grit on both Flourish and Finish. It gives you a little bit of grit, which is really nice to have. Swagger, plus 20% stamina when successfully hitting a target with Finish. Gain more stamina. And then Feel. What this is, each tick of damage from Tondo's bleed reduces the cooldown of this ability by 3.5%. So with this trait, if you have a bleed on an opponent, all you can just go ahead and swipe and then thrust the use the light attack to get away, and this skill will cool down every time your bleed ticks. With Flurry, enter a pose stance and unleash a series of 5 quick thrust attacks, with each strike dealing more damage. Flurry can be dodged, cancelled at any time, which is nice. Overwhelm, each hit of Flurry does 25% more block damage. People who are blocking, you'll eat at their stamina bar really nicely. Each hit of Flurry reduces the cooldown of this ability by 7%. More cooldown. Each hit of Flurry extends the Rapier's bleed by 1 second. Now this is a nice skill to have, because if you hit people with your Flurry, your bleed refreshes. So it does 12 seconds of tick damage. If you're already on like 8 seconds pass already and you hit somebody with Flurry, that bleed refreshes. And not only that, this will also apply to future stacked application of the same bleed, extending the entire stack. So I feel like this basically means that for future stacks, if you still have a bleed on an enemy, instead of 12 seconds, your new bleed stack will be 5 hits, 12 seconds. That's 17 seconds. So the opponent's gonna be bleeding forever. If you don't decide to use Flourish and Finish, the bleed helps a lot with healers. If you're going against somebody who's constantly healing, the bleed on Tondo will keep them at bay, and it'll keep their health bar down. Finalize. The last hit of Flurry will cause the enemy to stagger. This is great for another CC to your build. So now let's go with the passives over here. Deal 10% more damage when your target has greater than 50% health. If they have more health, you do more damage. That's basically the bottom line. I take this because there's a lot of people with a lot of health, so you need them like as much damage as you can. Reduces all cooldown by 1% on any hit. So when it says any hit, that basically counts, your bleed counts as any hit. So if you have a bleed on an opponent 3 stacks, that's 3% cooldown every tick, which is really good. Deal 5% more damage to targets with the Rapier bleed, more damage. If they have Tondo, if they have a bleed on them, you do more damage. And now last but not least, the last skill, the Bloody End. Finish deals 150% of Rapier's bleed damage instead of only 110%. With this, you're doing an even more increased amount of damage, and that's basically the build. You're popping opponents. You have the bleed on them while you fight them, and they're just losing HP a lot. They're losing a lot of HP the whole time you're fighting, and then whenever they get to a low enough HP, you can use Flourish and Finish, and that will proc the bleed and it'll pop them. It'll just does a burst amount of damage. The reason why we don't take Light Edge increased damage from both middle swipe attacks in the light attack chain by 8%. We want the bleed to lower the opponent's HP, and I find that there's 2 other traits on the Grace side that we would benefit more instead of doing this. Heavy Puncture. Any heavy attack on a bleeding opponent enemy will extend their Rapier bleeds by 2 seconds. This will also apply to future stacked application of the same bleed, extending the entire stack. So basically, your heavy attack does what Flurry does. But I feel like you're not going to be in a situation where you're going to be able to land your heavy attack very often. So this would be nice on PvE. Like you can hit mobs really easily. But for PvP, you're not going to have that time to do so. We're going to be taking 2 traits over here on the Grace side. Deal 10% more damage when your stamina is below 40%. you do more damage because you're rolling constantly, and this is going to be why. So you have controlled breathing plus 3 stamina on any hit. And like what it says over here, when I said reduce all cooldown by 1% on any hit, and that counts towards your bleed, this also counts towards your bleed as well. So if you have 3 stacks of bleed on an opponent, you gain 9 stamina every time it procs. This is really broken. Like it's really good. So that lets you just roll constantly without having to worry about losing your stamina. You can keep the stamina low and do more damage. I actually tried using not using Flurry and going with either Repulse or Fletch, or actually Evade Strike, and it's been okay. Like, the reason why this build isn't compatible with the musket, I don't feel like, because in PvP the grayscale will be way better with the musket, hands down. It is. The rapier, I think, is best paired with shield and sword, some kind of tanky, yeah, just another tanky weapon like great axe or something. But I think I'm gonna be doing some more experiment. We're gonna be using sword and shield with the blood rapier. That being said, so when I was not using Flurry and I was using Evade Strike, I actually got this trait right here, Swiftness plus 3% haste for 4 seconds on any hit, can stack up to 5 times. With the Bleed Strike, you can stack it up and have haste up constantly, which is also great. But this is going to be the Blood tree right here. So this is going to be my PvP build for the musket. It's basically the same build as I did in my previous guide. Nothing has changed. I think I'm grabbing dodge tactical reload because it's really good. Like, you can get another shot off really fast. You don't have to wait for the reload. Burn, powder burn, power shot, everything is still the same here. Nothing has changed. The zoom on the musket is really nice. You're gonna want to try to hit those headshots. But yeah, you guys, that's gonna be the build, the explanation for everything. Like I said, rapier, the blood rapier build is not gonna be compatible with musket, unfortunately. You're just too defenseless. The grace skill tree is way better with the musket because you can create distance, you can defend yourself, and you do a ton of damage with the Evade Strike. But I'm going to be trying it out, experimenting it with shield and sword. I believe those two combos will be really good, and I will definitely keep y'all posted. Thank y'all so much for watching. If y'all liked the video, please make sure y'all comment, like, and subscribe to my channel. If y'all have any tips on rapier or musket, please leave it down in the comment. Thank you guys for watching. If y'all want to check out my PvP rapier build, here is a link to it. You guys can take a look at this guide. It is the best PvP build for the rapier. It does a ton of damage. You can do so much more with it. Here's some clips of me using the blood rapier. Hope y'all enjoy. Y'all have a good one. Bro, come on, dog. You really... Did it to yourself, buddy. bitch. Oh, these fucking monsters are fucking... Yeah, fuck healers, dude. Like, absolutely garbage. Oh, shit. What the hell? Damn. Damn, he's mad. Damn, he mad. You know when they give up, as soon as that E button pops up, you know they mad.